Hi everyone, I'm GREYMOND. We're going to be talking about OCD recovery today. I'm going to be answering questions that you left below the videos. So the first question is, just one second, why my mind goes into OCD thought, or why does it not want to accept the uncertain or unorganized things even when it knows nothing productive is going to come out? And finally, how do I stop it and focus on relevant things? So okay, let's go over why the mind does this. The mind does this because it's a safety mechanism. It wants to make sure you are safe. In order to ensure that you are safe, the only way to do this is to bring up the things that scare you. In real life, it works very well because in real life, you are getting protected from things that, need protection. But if you are reacting to OCD thought as if it's real and giving it a lot of validity, your mind treats it like a real danger and tries to keep sending you thoughts in order to try to protect you. So it's taking that thought and just sending it over and over and over again because you are reacting with fear. The more you react with fear, the stronger your mind thinks the thought is, the more important your mind thinks the thought is, and the more you will get it in return. So what the question says, that why does it not want to accept the uncertainty? And the reason why it doesn't is because it's that part of the mind, its only job is to protect you from what you're scared about. So if you are scared of the uncertainty, it's going to send you more of it. If you are not scared of the uncertainty, it's not going to send you more of it. So it comes down to your reaction. When you stop the reaction, that neural pathway between fear and your particular thought is going to start to die out. As it starts to die out, it's going to become less and less important and fade away. And then you don't get those thoughts anymore. You're only getting them because you keep reacting. So in terms of the person says, how do I stop it and focus on the relevant things? You choose to stop and focus on the relevant things. It's a choice. I get that question a lot. Well, how do I? There's no magic bullet here. There's no magic here. You choose and you follow through. Day after day after day, and as your mind sees that no matter what it sends you, no matter what kind of detail, no matter what type of thought it sends you, you're continuously not reacting, eventually that neural pathway dies out basically, and the fear is not associated with this specific situation. So say if somebody triggers you in some way, you don't get the panic because the fear is no longer associated with it. So that's kind of how it happens. Next question is, how do I find scrupulosity? So same way, you're getting a religious OCD type of thought, right? The more these thoughts come in, well, what if I'm doing something against my religion, or what if I'm not going to get into heaven, or what if I said something wrong, or what if I didn't do something right? And all of those questions, you're refusing to answer them. And not doing compulsions. With religious OCD, there's a lot of compulsions associated with it. So not re-praying, explaining to God why you are doing certain things, trying to get reassurance from God, trying to get reassurance from your religious community, your religious leaders, or just other people, or online. There's a lot of compulsions that come along with religious OCD that are actually physical compulsions, as well as analyzing. So just refusing to go and refusing to do it, because the more you do, the worse it's going to get. And that's the thing is, with OCD, guys, I talk about this in every show, and sometimes, maybe I sound a little too serious, but it is serious, because if you don't do this, if you don't put your foot down and say, you know what, I've had enough of this, I'm choosing not to do this anymore, right? Until you do this, OCD will keep ramping up and ramping up. And the more you show your mind that this connection between fear and your particular theme, right, whatever it is, right, the more you show your mind that it is relevant, the worse these thoughts are going to get, because the mind thinks it's increasingly more important, meaning you're increasingly in more and more danger every day, right? You're coming into more and more danger with this specific type of thought, right? So it's very important to do the right thing. It's not, OCD is not like a cold, and it's not going to just go away by itself. It doesn't do that. You actually have to make it go away, because that part of the mind has no ability to reason and therefore cannot stop itself. You have to stop now this mechanism of attributing fear to anything to do with your theme or themes, right? You can stop that because the logical mind can stop it, but this automatic reactionary part will not be able to stop it. So it's up to you to stop the reaction. So next question is, hi Ali, you mentioned that when you do ERP, it will feel like you're faking it. Yes. A lot of the, not for everybody, but probably for 90% of the people. I get this a lot, and it really prevents me from going all the way with exposures. I think that I'm lying to myself. One of my themes is about attraction, for example. What should I do in this situation where I'm telling myself lies as exposure? It really bothers me that I should tell a lie to my own self to recover when I wouldn't lie to myself without my OCD. Thanks, Ali. The whole thing is OCD here. So what you are doing is normal behavior. OCD covers up that behavior by saying, well, I'm not sure about the situation, but basically saying, well, there's something wrong or whatever in some way, right? When there really isn't. So when you're saying, you know what, I'm refusing to buy into this anymore, I'm refusing to pay attention, and I'm going to push through as if this doesn't matter, what happens is your mind starts to understand things as they really are. If, in case of attraction, if you are attracted to somebody after OCD goes away, you're still going to be attracted to that person. If you're not attracted to somebody and OCD goes away, you're still not going to be attracted to that person. OCD doesn't change who you are underneath. It just clouds your thinking, clouds your mind while you're experiencing OCD, because OCD can grab onto the feelings, and the feelings are so strong, the person is no longer seeing logic. So, and that's why it's a systematic process where even though you're not seeing logic, you're just going through the motions and acting as if everything's okay, acting as if you don't have OCD, as if everything is normal. And then you see that when OCD goes away, all of these things go away. Because it was caused by OCD in the first place for you to do things that, that make this now feel abnormal, if that makes sense. So what you're doing is exactly right. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel like you're faking it. You just have to push through it. That's what it is. That's what ERP is. It feels unnatural. And the reason, this is actually a good point, is the reason why ERP feels unnatural, it's because it's the opposite of what you would do in a situation of real danger. It's like, basically, to your mind, the way that part of the mind views this is, it's like you're saying, well, I'm in danger and I'm going to stay in danger and I'm not going to do anything to relieve the danger. So the mind, what can it do? It starts to send you more thoughts. It starts to send you thoughts in the dreams. It starts to give different angles of this thought, to try to get you in any way, in some way, to get to you, so you react with fear, meaning you protect yourself from that which is dangerous to you. Doesn't know what it is, but if it's dangerous, you need to protect yourself, and it's going to pull all the stops to get you back to that place. So I think you're analyzing this way too much in terms of lying to yourself, not lying to yourself. It feels like you're lying to yourself because you have OCD and OCD grabs onto the feelings. Enough said. You just have to do it. You just have to do it. But that will go away. It won't always feel like it. The more you do these regular things and just act normal, the more it will feel normal. At first, when you're acting normal, it doesn't feel right. But as time goes on, and as that connection between fear and the trigger weakens, you start to feel normal again. So next question is, hi ma'am, I have false memory OCD. I keep trying your methods and I can manage my OCD now when compared to the past. kindly give advice about how to live with uncertainty in the upcoming talk. Yeah, so again, so you already did some of the work because you already feel it getting better. Now you just have to continue doing it. The way to live with uncertainty is to keep reminding yourself that you will not live with the uncertainty until you're 90 years old. It's just a temporary feeling while you are in the process of recovery. It will resolve itself. It just will feel like it doesn't matter. It will not, you will not get that pain of uncertainty forever. It's a temporary thing. You just have to live past it for now, for the time being. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say, I think I may have gone a little over the top in the last video in terms of emails because I got a lot of comments, and thank you guys for all your kind words and support and everything. It's a problem that's going to get resolved. And when I do these videos, then the emails get a little bit shorter in terms of content. And like I said, there's, like I say to people who want to email, there's 300 videos on this channel. And in addition, there is a recovery program if you want to discuss your specific situation and your specific recovery, right? So you get both, the kind of the best of both worlds, so it's, if you write me a question, there's nothing I can say more than I've already said in 300 videos in that one email. And to discuss it in terms of your specific situation in depth, one email is simply not enough to go over everything, right? So it doesn't work either way, but we are resolving it into making it a more systematic process where people are either signing up for the program or are answering questions on the show. So expect that to get resolved. But anyways, thank you for all the comments, all the helpful solutions that people have offered on here. I really do appreciate it. And like I said, it's going to get resolved. So next question is, the next question is kind of long, but it's basically about relationship OCD. And when OCD attaches to relationships in terms of, do I love this person? Do I not love this person? How do I feel about this person? OCD attaches to things that you care about the most. So not to reassure you, but if you didn't really care about the relationship, you would never get OCD on the topic of the relationship in the first place. Not that if you have OCD on some other topic, it doesn't mean that you don't care about the relationship. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that if you are extremely conscious of your relationship, or if it's a new relationship or something is going on, say, for example, some monumental step in your life, it has a tendency to attach to relationships, because right now, it's not that it's the only most important thing to you right now, but it's also on the front of your life, so to speak. There's a lot of things going on, right? So, it's basically that creates a situation where you can have relationship OCD, and it's, well, do I love this person? Do I not love this person? Like all kinds of things like that. It can also attach to like a cheating OCD. There's a lot of things in terms of relationship where OCD can get into. But it's just pushing through, saying, I don't care. I'm not paying attention to this. And again, we go back to the first question when people are saying that, well, I feel like I'm faking it. And this is very prevalent in relationship OCD, because relationships are generally a feelings-based situation in the first place. And when OCD clouds those feelings, it's hard. So you just have to, like I said, just systematically go through the process and just disregard. If you care about this person before OCD, you will care about this after. And in between, while you have OCD, it can tell you a million things. Maybe you don't care about them. Maybe you don't love them. Maybe this, maybe that. Who cares? Just let that be. And again, like what I say, let this be over here. You're over here. You're not paying attention. You're moving forward, and whatever it says over there, just let it be over there. You know what I mean? You can't make it go away right this instant, but you can slow it down. So next question is, Does anyone ever feel like they like their thoughts and you don't want to like the thoughts? It's a what if thing. So, but I kind of feel like I like my thoughts. Well, do I like my thoughts? Let me try to figure it out. And then you go on and that becomes reassurance. So it's normal, but it's just pushing through. So I had more questions about false memory OCD. And again, with false memory, it's some people were asking, how exactly does false memory work? False memory can come up at any time. So it can be from like just right away, just happened a few minutes ago, few seconds ago, or years and years ago. It's still a false memory OCD. You have to choose to disregard, and all the details as well. So if it says, but it can come up with an image. The image can be very vivid. The image can be kind of obscure. You can remember sounds, smells, I don't know, whatever, anything. It's not a real memory, but your brain mimics it to be like a real memory. So it's just choosing to not pay attention to it, choosing to disregard, choosing to move on. I always get a lot of questions about false memory OCD, and they're always pretty much the same because it's something everybody experiences. It's a very, not everybody, but a lot of people with OCD experience false memory. So even if you look on the survey, right, on my website, that false memory was one of the more common types of OCD. And false memory is a subtype of puro type of OCD, which in itself is a very more prevalent type. In my experience, most clients that I talk to have puro. I would say it's about 70-30. Some months more, some months less, but really, I would say pretty much every month I have quite a few more people with puro than with physical compulsions. And I find that physical compulsions are generally an easier type of OCD to get rid of. I mean, the sufferers might argue with me otherwise, but I do find that generally it's easier because it's very systematic in the recovery process, and there's also a delay, right? When, say, for example, a person goes to wash their hands, they're getting up, they're going and they're washing their hands. So some time goes by, and in that time, they can physically stop themselves. If it's a thought, it's hard to stop a thought, right? And you really shouldn't be stopping it, but it's hard to refuse compulsion or reassurance, self-reassurance, meaning in the mind trying to go over things. But, another thing about false memory and puro and physical OCD is that nothing is, with OCD, it's not really that, kind of clear in terms of I only have physical obsession, physical compulsions and, like washing or whatever, right? Like the common, what people would think OCD is. Or I only have puro. Most of the time, there is a mix where the person is, say, 90% has even like 80-90% has puro, and then, a little bit of compulsions. Or compulsions and then a little bit of the puro type as well, So it's always a fluid thing. Another question I was having here is about getting diagnosed. And again, I've discussed this topic quite a few times, and I just wanted to let you guys know that, when you're getting, over the years of helping people with OCD, and I talk to people all around the world. Like I talk to people in most common countries are US, UK, throughout Europe, but really UK is the one that I talk to most of the time. So yes, US, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Russia. But that's because I have an additional Russian channel. So I don't know if that's, in terms of statistics, that's accurate. But yeah, those are kind of the most common ones. But it's pretty much, or India is another one where I have a lot of clients from. So it's pretty much all around the world. And I can tell you that over the years, I've heard people getting diagnosed with pretty much everything under the sun. you know, any kind of mental issue, situation, disorder that a doctor can come up with, I've heard it, you know, and really they just have OCD. So, you know, yes, you should get diagnosed, but, you know, in terms of saying, oh, this doctor said it, it must be true, use your own head, use your own judgment. Don't just blindly listen to anybody. Don't blindly listen to me, to a doctor, to anybody else. Use your own judgment, because, you know, it's just, you know, it's pretty crazy what some doctors will say, you know. Like, I can tell you from experience, some of the things I hear, I'm like, wow, you know, it's nuts, you know. And when a doctor can't diagnose the person correctly, how do you think they can help them recover? They can't. You know, they can't even diagnose them, never mind help them recover. So, you know, it's, if your doctor is not sure if you have OCD, you probably need to see a better doctor. So, okay, next question is, how does disregarding work? Okay, so when we say disregarding, we mean choosing not to pay attention. So you're getting the thought is over here, and you're not paying attention to the thought. It's not that the thought is going to be gone. You're not trying to get rid of the thought. You're just choosing to put your attention elsewhere. And the more you choose to put your attention elsewhere, the more this thought goes away. This is the same experience you have every single day when you know how throughout the day you're going about your daily life, and through the day you say, oh, but I forgot this because my attention went away to somewhere else. This is exactly what we want to happen with OCD. We want your attention to go away from it, so you stop powering it up. Yes, it's going to be there, but the less you power it up, the more insignificant it will seem. When it seems insignificant, the feelings that were so strong that were clouding your judgment start to go away, and you start to logically see the situation as anybody else would see it if you went and did reassurance, which you shouldn't do. So that's what we're trying to do, and that's how disregarding works. That's it for me. I don't have as many questions this week as I do usually, because I didn't do the video to ask questions. So next week I'll do that video. If you have questions, please leave it below any of the videos. If you'd like to do the recovery program, please click on youhaveocd.com. You'll see the recovery program. You'll see the survey there as well. It's getting really interesting. I'm going to be adding quite a few questions, because I have some questions that people left that they would like to be added to the survey. There's an option there that if you have a question that you want to poll people who have OCD on, there's a room there where you can leave it. So please give your suggestions, and I will post those. The one question that I'm really interested in, and I don't think I put that, is about family history. From my clients, I don't really see a strong connection in terms of family history and OCD. You know, some people say they have family history, some people say they don't have it, so it's not really one way or another. But I'm curious to see what it's going to say when we actually poll people, and what kind of issues do their family members have in terms of severity. Is it just, you know, because everybody has somebody in their family who's a little more anxious or a little more depressed or whatever, but does anybody in your family have severe issues? And that's one that's I'm really interested to see the results on. So please check that out, and I will see you in the next video.